Happy Monday, guys. So it's the 12th of April. Welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. I am your host, Dean Booty, and I've got a new camera. I have also got a new microphone. I thought it about time, but I invest in the very, very best of the equipment. So hopefully you can see me a lot clearer and I look a lot prettier, and also you can hear me a lot crisper. We'll see. Right, so last week, how was it? Well, it was a fantastic week. And we're trialing some different things because Anne Ballard mentioned that I shouldn't be doing any offer whatsoever. And I listened to her reasons and we analyzed it. We looked at it. And do you know what we thought? We thought we have no idea what's right until we test it. She might be right, she might be wrong, but we don't know until we test it. So we are doing no offer. I've previously told you, so there's no 4 weeks free, no 8 weeks free. And so far this week, we've had 23% reservations. Now, it's too early to say we're down or we're up or whatever, because a lot of our reservations have been through previous quotes from weeks gone by, where the reservations have had the quotes for maybe weeks or even a month or so, and then they've reserved. So we don't know yet if it's working. So we're going to hang fire with that just yet. We don't know if it's working, if it's not. My gut feeling is from feedback that it isn't making a difference, and so therefore we're losing money if we're doing the offer, but who knows? So at the minute we've got no offer on. There's no 4 weeks half price, there's no 8 weeks half price, there is zilch, zero, nothing. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I hope you guys have had a fantastic week. We've had a really good week. However, there's one big negative for me, and it's, I can't lie, it's stopping me enjoying these figures, and I wish it wouldn't. I wish I could live in the moment, but I can't help it. There's one big negative, and I'll get to that right at the very, very end. It's the amount of square foot due in next week and the amount of square foot due out next week. It's painful. I can't even like even looking at it. Okay, so the amount of quotes last week were 60. That's an average of 8.57 quotes per day. Now, let's not forget, it's not just because of coronavirus. It's not just because of stamp duty. It's also because we have upped the ad spend. We have nearly doubled the ad spend, how much we are spending on per month on pay-per-clicks. We are averaging now over £4,000 a month on pay-per-clicks. So that is a hell of a lot. I understand it. I realize it. I'm going to a mastermind this next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. And you always ask one question: how can the other people in the mastermind help you? My one big question is, listen, what am I not seeing? What am I not seeing with the ad spend? Should I still be doing it? I always like, by the way, if you are not taking advice from other people, listening, learning, educating yourself from other people, finding the smartest person that you know who has a different opinion than you, if you are leveraging that person, that relationship, then you're doing something wrong. Because I believe that you want to be looking at things all the time in the way of, how can I improve and how am I wrong? And I'm not saying that you are wrong, but if you look at it with that mindset, then you will always improve. You'll always get better, and you will always try to educate yourself. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Tuesday, I'm asking the question, what am I not seeing with these ad spend? Because for me, it makes perfect financial sense. I've spoke to a lot of people in the industry about pay-per-clicks. And as long as you know your numbers, yes, my cost per acquisition has gone up. My cost per square foot has gone up. It's bound to, because it dilutes it. The more you spend, then you are getting, you are, I suppose, for whatever reason, you aren't hitting the warm audience that you want to. But does it really matter? It's not gone up dramatically. I'm still around about 130 quid cost per customer, and we're well over £800 the lifetime value of a customer. So is it still worth it? In my mind, it is, but I'm open to being wrong. That's it. Strong opinions loosely held. I love that. That's from Jordan Harbinger. So I've got strong opinions about this, but it's loosely held. And if anybody can tell me I'm doing something wrong, or in the mastermind, if I can be educated and say, look, you're not seeing this, Dean, I just don't see why anybody would have a cap on their financial spend, ad spend on Google, if it was working. If it's working, do more of it. Do more of it. Keep testing, keep throwing money at it. And only at the point where you aren't profitable, that's the point where you should be cutting back. And I know that obviously you can't do it if you've got financial restraints. So yeah, you've got to be careful on that score. But anyway, we'll see how it goes, how it plays out. And now, obviously, I'll keep you guys posted. So the amount of quotes last week was 60. The amount of reservations were 14. That's a conversion rate of 23.33%. Normally, we aim for 30. So if you want to be really strict, it is a little bit down, but it's a week, so we don't really know. Feedback from the guys, we haven't had a lot of pushback from people in terms of the price. What else? Number of forward move-ins were 9, so we got 64% of those reservations have done a forward move-in, which is fan daddy dodo. Number of this is I'm reading these and I'm thinking, why are you only focused on the negative? And I don't know. It's new square foot moved in, 1,435 square foot moved in of new. That's new customers. Other move-ins, we had 1. So in total, we had 1,595 because it took an extra room. 1,595 square foot moved in. That is phenomenal in a week. And yet I'm focused on the one bad thing, which is crazy, really. So 1,595 square foot moved in. Unreal. The conversions, quotes to move-ins was bang on 25% because we had 15 move-ins out of the 60, and 25% is exactly where we want to be. So quotes to move-ins, so conversion rate, quotes to move-ins is 25%. Okay, so what won? Transit or the Luton van? The Transit has been winning in recent weeks. There's no winner. It's 6 each. So Transit was rented out 6 times. The Luton van was rented out 6 times, which is phenomenal for us. Where did our quotes come from? I am glad you asked, my friend. We had Google, 45 quotes came from Google. That's 75%. Word of mouth, we had 6, so that's 10%. Passing by was 4, that was 7%. Beverly 24, 0. Blog, 0. And Bing was 0. Used before and estate agents and removals were 1, that's 2%. And then we had social media, which was 2, which was 3%. I'm rounding up and down as well here, guys. So it was a very, very interesting week. A lot of our quotes came from Google, but you'd expect that because we've upped our Google ad spend at the minute. And you know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to make hay while the sun shines, and the sun is certainly shining. There is a traffic out there right now, so I'm trying to make the most of it. I'm trying to, well, basically make hay while the sun shines, because why wouldn't we? We've got to take advantage of this crucial time. I'll look back in a year's time and think, oh, do you remember when there's all that traffic there? And I limited my ad spend. I limited my Google ad spend. I handcuffed myself. Why would I do that? There is a traffic out there, so why wouldn't I take advantage of it? We're probably not going to see this level of interest in self-storage for quite some time, I would suspect. And the reason is obviously because of a stamp duty. People are moving home, people are decorating, people are improving the house, they're getting extensions. And so we're probably not going to see this level of interest. So my advice to anybody listening is to up your ad spend. Unless you're in Hull, do not up your ad spend. You are doing enough. You don't need to do it in Hull. Obviously, my competitors. So I would recommend everybody up their ad spend at the minute, because the traffic is out there. If you normally at 600, do you know what? Double it. Increase it to 1,200. I couldn't be more bullish or confident on this. And like I said, strong opinions loosely held, because I could be wrong. And I know that it's a lot of money. It's an extra £2,000 a month that I'm spending on ad spend. And so what I don't want to do is just come across and say like, yeah, I've got all the answers. I know everything, because I'm willing to be wrong, but I'm also willing to test it. And so I'm testing it so far. And the numbers I see, the cost to acquire a customer, yeah, it's gone slightly up, maybe 30 quid per customer. It's gone up, but it's still very much profitable. So I would certainly recommend you test it. And yeah, the traffic is there, so we've got to really, I don't know, grab the nuts while we can, I suppose. So total square foot moved in 1,595, and if you remember, I was aiming for around about 700 square foot profit, net profit, 700 square foot net. Last when I did this podcast last Monday. And square foot moved out was 775, and our net positive was 820 square foot. What a week, my friend. 1,595 in, out was 775, 820 square foot in. That is the fullest we've ever been. Right now is the fullest we've ever been in storage. I've checked the percentage full, and it's 80.19%. And we've got 24 containers, and we are full. We've done all the expansion we possibly can do inside, and we're 80% full. I am over the moon with that. It feels fantastic. Anyway, before I go on any further, here's a quick word from our sponsors. All right, we're back. So the amount of rooms moved in last week were 16. The amount of rooms moved out were 11. Total internal rooms occupied was 342. We've got 2 containers moved in, 0 moved out. So again, we are full with the containers. We've got 24 containers. We're ordering some more containers as well, obviously from our friends over at Willbox. Thank you, Willbox. And yeah, containers is just absolutely fantastic. It's a great option as well because, like my guys say, my team says that it's an easy sell because obviously internal rooms are so much more expensive. So when you've got an alternative, if somebody's worried about price, then we can simply say we've got a container, and it's just an easy sell for people. And we're getting a lot of bang for our buck for containers as well. So at the minute we've got 24 containers rented out, which is it's fantastic. So amount of car parking moved in is 0. Amount of car parking moved out is 0. So total number of car parking rented is 18. We're trying to get that number down. We keep increasing the car parking costs because we need containers in there because they obviously don't give us the best return on investment because car parking spaces cost nothing. However, they aren't giving it as much revenue as containers would do. So there's an opportunity cost there that they're costing us. So we need to increase the price with the hope that people move out. And if they don't move out, well, we've still got the extra money from them as well, extra revenue. So the store occupancy, as I say, is 80.19%, which is phenomenal. We're over the moon with that. Absolutely fantastic. Average sales per move-in was £16.17. That's on merchandise. Again, it's below where we want to be. I don't want to say I'm setting the target too high at £25, but I don't know. Maybe we're not focused on that. But at the end of the day, maybe we've got to be careful because, yes, it's nice to have merchandise sales. Of course, it's a cherry on top. But we've got to remember what pays the bill. It's the storage, it's the insurance. So I always say focus on the 20% that gives you the most revenue. Focus on the 20% of customers that give you the most revenue. And it's very, very interesting that, yes, merchandise sales are important. They're lovely to have. You rather have them than not. But at the end of the day, it's not going to make or break your business. Making or breaking your business is how much square foot you're getting in, the amount of insurance that you're charging, the revenue management that you're doing. There's so many more important factors in a business than the merchandise sales. And people have said to me with the manless facilities, aren't you worried about the merchandise sales? You won't have any. And the answer is no, because what does it net me? Maybe $5,000 a year max. So £100 a week. We're not going to worry about something like that. It's not going to make a difference. It's not, in the grand scheme of things, it's a drop in the ocean. And so, yes, I bang on about it. It's nice to have, but it's one of the last KPIs I focus on. And just another thing, when I speak to people, when I interview people, when I talk to people, I ask them what's the most important KPI that they focus on, and they always say to me revenue. And that's a no-brainer. I get it. It's a no-brainer. Obviously, revenue is the most important thing. And so revenue's up here, and all the rest of them are below revenue. But every other KPI, it drives the revenue. That's what drives the revenue. So yes, revenue is the most important one. But for me, it kind of goes without saying that revenue is the most important one. And so that's why I look on all these other KPIs, loads and loads of KPIs. So what else can I tell you? Total amount of insurance sold this week was £75,000 worth of insurance. That's an average per new move-in of £5,000, which is really good. Anywhere around £5,000 is fantastic. That's where I want to be. Okay, here's the negative. My heart sank because I almost forgot about it. Next week, we have 4 move-ins due. 375 square foot due to come in. Amount of square foot due to move out, 895. So according to this, we are going to lose 520. And yes, I've just worked that out. Wow. So we're going to lose 520 square foot next week. That's if everybody moves out and everybody moves in. And let's not forget, we can have more people move out. Don't forget, last week we had less than 500 square foot was due to move out, and we had 775 people move out, 775 square foot move out. So that's obviously going to increase, I would say. So it's going to be a 4-figure exit. Hopefully it's not. And I know. As soon as I saw the figures, I was like, yes, I know it's going to be a good week. I know it's going to be a good week. So I scroll down because I was on my phone, scroll down, and it's the last box, amount of square foot due to move. I was like, oh, no, 895, Jesus. But yeah, it's, what can you do? What we can control is the move-ins, and the move-ins are rubbish as well next week. But hopefully we can get some reservations and straight move-ins and stuff. So we'll see where the week takes us. Hopefully it'll be a fantastic week if we can finish a week level. Absolutely fantastic. Just one more thing before I get onto the revenue. This week, so Sunday, I went out with a family, and I can't say exactly where because you guys might beat me to it. But I was driving through this place, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I saw a nice new Aldi being built. I saw housing estates. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. It's a nice little town. And the kids were playing on the iPads in the back. The wife was happy. She was just, I don't know, playing on the phone or something. So I was like, right, that's it. We're going to drive. Because obviously they don't know where we're going. I know where we're going. And so I started driving around all the different industrial estates, looking for property because I thought this place is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, so what I want to do in the next quarter is I want to open up a micro site. I've been talking to Martin Wild, who is in Austria, Vienna in Austria. I've interviewed him for the podcast, and he's got a massive site and another 150 square foot, 150 unit site, and also a micro site of 50. And all three are doing very, very well. Only just opened. It was incredible to talk to him. Really was incredible. And so yeah, that interview will be coming out in about 3 weeks' time. And I thought, do you know what? I need to do this micro site. I need to do one with about 50 units. Trial it, 50 units. I know that people are thinking 50 units. What's up? It's not. You can't validate it, but if it's manless, you can. If there's not a massive amount of traffic and trade there, you can still do it on a small site. And these manless facilities are actually allowing us to focus on these smaller sites. And yes, it might not be a great revenue earner, but it might net 50 grand or 60 grand or 70 grand. It might net that much money. 50 to 75 grand, I think it'll net one of these micro sites. If it nets that much, surely it's worth doing. It's worth trialing, and so that's what we're looking for now. That's why I've been driving around looking today when the kids were in the back and Claire was doing whatever, and she was like, all of a sudden she looked at me and goes, "What are you doing?" Because I was like looking at all these places. My head was turning. I was getting so excited. She's looking for storage, aren't you? I was like, no. But obviously she knew I was. Anyway, so stay tuned there. Hopefully next 3 months, that's my goal. I want to have a micro site because it won't cost too much money. But yeah, it's something that I want to do. I'm really, really excited about it. I'm really excited to trial it. Obviously 50 units, it's not going to cost that much. So I'm going to trial it, see what happens. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We can only trial it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then, you know, we've learned a lesson. We've learned something. And obviously I will document the whole journey here as well. And I believe that these microsites now are an option. I'm not saying it's a way forward. Obviously not. I don't believe it's the only way forward, but I believe it's another string to our bow in terms of revenue and going to places where otherwise we'd be overlooking. And you might as well have that extra 50 grand net profit in your back pocket. Obviously not your back pocket, in your business account than not. And yeah, so it's something that I'm really, really passionate about now, as well as all the automated stuff and a new site on Clough Road. Yeah, really, really exciting time. I really, honestly, it's like land grab. I really believe if you're in self-storage right now or thinking of getting self-storage, now's a bit passionate. Now's the time to move. Honestly, you will not, there will never, ever, ever, ever be a better time to get into self-storage other than now. Now is the best time to get into self-storage. Don't rush it. Make sure you find the best place. Make sure you do your homework. But if you're thinking about self-storage, now is the time, my friends. I can't be strong. I know that I'm strong opinions loosely held is a motto that I like to have, and that's what I talk about when I'm talking about pay-per-clicks and more ad spend. But this is a strong opinion, strongly held, that now is the time to get into self-storage. And by the way, I don't want you to get in self-storage because it's more for me. Now, there's plenty to go around, plenty for all of us to go around and have a fantastic life and provide for our families. And that's what we're all in it for. Anyway, let's talk about the revenue. And I will, obviously, I'm an open book, as you guys know, so I will document the whole journey about this satellite site. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm willing to spend, what's it going to be? 100 grand, maybe 100 grand in opening a satellite site, 50 units. It'll be nice. Really nice. I'm excited about it, and we'll see where it takes us. And hopefully I want to know where I'm going and have maybe heads of terms or something sorted in the next 3 months. That's what I've told my mastermind. That's what I've told other people that I'm going to do, people that I look up to and stuff. So that's where I want to be. So we'll find out. So I've got one place in mind at the minute. And obviously I'm gonna drive around, do the drive arounds, look on Google, etc. And yeah, we'll see. But I'll keep you posted, and then I will let you know where we are going. Okay, weekly revenue. As I open the sheet, and when I opened the sheet before, never mind. Here it is. We took a lot of money last week, a lot of money. So we took £16,000, £173 at Stormore. That is including bounce direct debits of £207. So £207 were bounce direct debits. So £16,173.20. And at Beverly, we took £5,000. That is really good at Beverly. £327.17. No bounce direct debits at Beverly. So the weekly revenue was 21,537 pence. 21,537 pence. By the way, just so you know, next week we are taking, so far just on direct debits, it's going to be £16,000 just on direct debits. So next week should be a bumper week. We should be £20,000 plus next week as well, which is really nice. Actual revenue versus true period revenue. Obviously, this time of month, we are always behind. However, we're not at Beverly. True period revenue is £5,293.87, but we've actually taken £5,321.17. That's including VAT as well. Here's a question I have. Let's see if I can get that figure up. I just thought the Beverly takings was more last week. So let's have a look at the date calendar. I'm doing this live. Interesting. I'll have to double check the Beverly figures because yes, we've including VAT as well. So I'm sure on the report I've just opened, I will click it and open it again. Let's have a look. Weekly revenue. This is why I love doing this. This is why, because it keeps me accountable. It keeps me alert. So yeah. Interesting. So weekly revenue last week, it said that we've took £5,327.17. However, on the actual revenue versus true period revenue, it says we've taken £5,321.17. Although, so true period revenue at Beverly does say £5,293.87. Actual revenue says £5,321.17. And that for my maths is, let's just have a look here, £5,293. I'm not going to bother about the pence. 5,000, take away £5,321 is the actual. So it says we've taken £28 more on the actual revenue. However, it says here that we've taken £627 more. So we're about 600 quid out. Interesting. And obviously, anyway, this is why I love doing it, because then I see issues and problems and mistakes where I otherwise wouldn't have seen. So this obviously needs to get looked at, and I'll send an email, obviously, as soon as we finish here. On to Stormore. So Stormore, we took, yeah, this looks right. Oh, does it? Interesting. It looks rough. Could be an issue as well. Anyway, so Stormore true period revenue says £24,505.52, and the actual revenue says £17,095.84. That's a negative of £7,409.68. But we are always short this time of the month anyway, and we catch up later in the month. So I'm sure we'll catch up there as well. That is it, my friends. I really appreciate you guys if you could do one thing, oh my goodness, I appear to have gone all dark. If you can do one thing for me, I would love it if you can spend 30 seconds just writing as a review on whatever you listen to your podcast. It'd be amazing, and I'd appreciate it very, very much. I can't believe how dark I've gone. I've literally, for some reason, it's just got real dark in here. I've got a new camera, and it's clearly something's happened, and we're just practically in the black if you are listening or watching this on YouTube. All right, my friends, have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you on Wednesday when we have a fantastic guest from Noki, well, Janus International and Noki. Love this conversation, asked many tough questions, and I learned a lot myself as well. So on Wednesday, keep your eyes peeled for that interview, because for me, it was one of the most enjoyable chats I had, because I learned so much about the Noki product, and I understood a bit more about it and what it does and the functionality. And yes, I know they're a sponsor of a podcast, but hopefully you guys know from me now that I would never ever push a product on you guys or say anything nice about a product that I didn't truly believe in. I've been inundated, and I mean inundated recently, with requests to sponsor the podcast. And I've turned them down because I don't know if they're good or not. I'm sure they are. And I love the fact that they're listening to podcasts like this in the industry. And because obviously, if you listen to podcasts like this, then you must be a stories geek. And if you're a stories geek, then your product, by and large, must be good. And so we've turned so many people away because I only want to have people sponsoring the podcast who I've worked with or know do a fantastic job. Because I never want to, I don't know, push a product or give any positive feedback about a product that I just don't know. I'd rather turn away the money. And by the way, we're not talking massive money because it's a podcast. It's literally in the self-storage industry. It's not loads of money, but it just covers the cost and makes it worthwhile doing and everything like that. But yeah, I would hope you guys know that I would never, ever push a product on you guys or get somebody on that I didn't fully believe in. And this is exactly what's happening in this podcast on Wednesday. I'm super excited to go down this Noki route and the automated route and see what happens. And obviously, Noki, you still need to give me a good price, okay? Need to get that out there. I'm almost telling you can charge what you like, and I'll still come and I'll still be a customer. But it still needs to be a good price. But yeah, I fully enjoyed it, and I realized and understood what Noki can do and the practicalities and the potential of it as well, which, yeah. Anyway, check out the interview on Wednesday. All right, my friends, have a wonderful week. Bloody hell, 27 minutes, right? See you soon. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.